Hello, my love. Welcome back. I hope you are doing well today. Today's pick a card. Today's pick a card, you guys, is going to be a pick a card all about the love story between you and your life partner. I really love the concept and the idea of a life partner, like somebody who we go through life with, whether that's romantic or platonic. I do feel like most people who are watching this are going to take it in a romantic way, but I think a life partner can be somebody who's platonically in your life as well. I'm going to mainly focus on your energy prior to meeting this person and what's going to be going on in your life and how it is that you are birthing this connection. And then I'm going to focus a little bit on the love that you two share for one another. So I'm really excited to get into it. Before I show you the piles, this is a reminder that tarot is a divination tool. It's an intuitive practice. So please just take what resonates. If something doesn't resonate, it's never that serious. It's never that deep. Also, there's nuance to every conversation. I am limited on time here, so I cannot sit there and go over every little tiny nuance when I'm saying things. So please, when I speak, I'm speaking in general. Don't need to take offense. And yeah, shoo. Without further ado, here's a couple piles right now. All right, you guys, these are the three piles. We have group 1 with the pink opal, group 2 with the clear quartz, and group number 3 with the moldavite. If you guys need a moment to meditate on which pile is calling your name, you guys are free to do that right now. And if you want to pick more than one pile, you guys are always welcome to do so. All right, you guys have now picked your pile. Please go ahead and check out my description box for you guys timestamps for when your reading will start. And let's go and let's jump into today's pick a card. Hello, group number 1. Welcome to your guys' reading. We are going to start off with the dice, you guys. If you're new here, the dice is extra. It's dessert. If your sign doesn't pop up, it's not that serious. So let's see what we get. We have Aries and Gemini. Sun, Moon, Rising, Aries, Gemini. Leo and Gemini. Leo, Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising. And we have Virgo and Libra. Again, Sun, Moon, Rising, you guys. Virgo, Libra. Okay. So, let's see what we have for you guys today. Interesting. Okay. The first card that popped out for you guys, group number 1, was the 10 of Wands. Okay, so what is the 10 of Wands? The 10 of Wands is essentially talking about burdens. It's talking about heaviness on your back. So when we are talking about the love story between you and your life partner, okay, what this is telling me, it's telling me that this is not going to be a relationship that is like the fairy tales. This is not going to be a relationship that is completely smooth sailing. If you are somebody who desires and craves that type of relationship, perhaps this is not the reading for you to listen to. I don't want to trigger anybody or upset anybody. You know, if you've been through difficulties in relationships in the past, totally get it. You don't need to listen to this. But that is what this is representing. It's representing a relationship that's going to require work, effort. It's representing a relationship that's going to require perhaps even some sacrifice. It is not the easiest relationship. Now, that's not to say it's not worth it. It's just to say that it's not the easiest. There will be difficulties. There will be trials. There will be tribulations. I'm going to go ahead and skip to the end just because I want to make my point. The reason why I'm saying I believe this relationship is worth it is because we do have the 2 of Cups here. Now, to me, when I'm reading tarot, I see the 2 of Cups as a soulmate card. It's quite literally representing like, I want to mix cups with you. I want to mix perhaps blood with you. I want to mix our lives together. I want you to be a part of me and my life for the rest of my life. That is how I see the 2 of Cups. It's a very soul-binding type of card to me, again, when I'm reading tarot. So for the 10 of Wands to be here, again, it is to represent burdens. It is to represent responsibilities. However, I believe that those burdens and responsibilities are worth it because there is this soul bond here. Now, in between all of that, we have the Seeker of Swords, okay? And the Seeker of Swords is essentially the Page of Swords, okay? The Page of Swords is talking about remaining inquisitive. The way that I'm almost seeing this, it feels like there is a lesson here of a need to take interest in people or your partner, in the person outside of yourself. I'm picking up on a bit of like selfish energy or like self-serving energy, and it feels like perhaps a part of the hurdle that you two are going to have to overcome together is becoming more selfless and more genuinely interested in the other person. I feel like when I say selfish, a lot of people like get turned off by that, but in reality, the majority of humans are very self-centered and focused on the self, which is not necessarily a bad thing. It's a bad thing when it's hurting other people or when you're acting solely on your own self-preservation. However, most people are selfish. Most people are into their own ego. So when I see two cards like this, it is telling me, I do believe the lesson in this relationship is learning how to consider your partner, learning how to become more giving, more considerate. And this may not be on your back. This may not be something that you have to learn, but something your partner has to learn. I also believe that you two are coming from a different, I don't want to say a different background because I feel like that's painting a particular picture, but your guys' upbringing, I feel like, was very different. So there's going to be a need for you guys to communicate in a manner that's more slow and understanding. And it feels like you're going to have to communicate with a lot of love and patience with each other because you two come from different upbringings, okay? Now that can mean a multitude of things. Just to expand your mind a little bit on it, that could mean you are coming from a background of being poor and they're coming from a background of being middle class or wealthy. It could even be culturally, right? Like perhaps you come from a background of being culturally raised this way and they come from a background of being culturally raised that way. So I'm really reading this Page of Swords as like a need to communicate with love and patience and learning how to do that with your partner, and also continuing the cycle of being interested in what your partner has to say. So many couples fall into that pattern of not listening to your partner or not caring what they say after a certain point or becoming disinterested. And I believe that that is a killer in relationships. So seeing this, it makes me feel like we are really working on our communication and we're really working on our listening skills with this person and learning how to be patient. For some reason, I'm getting a lot of patience with this card. Again, with the Six of Coins, I really think this is focused on literally giving to the other person and not thinking, not acting from a place of only caring about yourself. And again, this may not be you. If you're somebody who's very selfless or somebody who is very giving and loving towards your partner, this could be something that your partner has to learn how to do. Somebody who needs to learn or be taught how to become more selfless or more giving. Now, here's the thing, you guys. I'm saying this and I know that everything I'm saying, it doesn't sound very appealing. Like this person does not sound appealing. This relationship doesn't necessarily sound appealing. However, the difference between somebody who's like this and somebody who's like this and not willing to grow or learn or evolve, and then somebody who's like this and is willing to learn and evolve, it's not a black and white situation. I would never suggest or encourage anybody to stay with a person who's selfish and who's not patient and kind. If they have no desire or they're not showing any willingness to grow. I do believe that this person is willing to grow just because we do have that soulmate card here. We do have that Two of Cups, but I do very much believe that this person is somebody where like they're starting off this relationship from a place of inexperience or from a place of never having been challenged or never having been asked to provide or be more than what they are. For some reason, I feel like your life partner has been in previous relationships where they were able to just like act however, be however, they got away with things. And I'm saying that in a way that's, again, not to say that they're an awful person, but it's just to say that they've never been held to a particular standard. And I do believe that this particular group, you guys are holding them to a standard. I do believe they're going to be capable of meeting it. We do have the Nine of Swords here, and this is talking about sleepless nights and anxiety, okay? Now, I think this is something that you are working through with this person, and this person is working through this with you. I think this is, again, going to be a relationship that requires a lot of work, and I think that by the end of it, if you two can stick it out, because perhaps for some of you this is not your life partner and this is going to be a person who's leading you to your life partner, but for those of you who can stick it out with this person, I do believe there's going to be a lot of mental clarity and a lot of mental healing through this connection. And again, it may take a lot to get there. It may even take some again, like I don't want to call them issues, but like tribulations between the two of you to get to that place. It's almost giving me, if I'm being completely honest, you guys, it's almost, again, it's giving me very much like a soul bond or a soul tie to somebody, where it's like you have to break down certain barriers, or you have to confront certain nasty things within each other in order to grow and evolve in your love. And that's almost what it feels like. It doesn't feel like somebody who's bad or a relationship that's unhealthy. It just feels like two people who perhaps haven't reached their full maturity yet, or perhaps haven't ever been challenged or tasked with growing and evolving in a manner that is productive for their romantic relationships, right? So that is kind of what I'm seeing with this. And again, we do have this Two of Cups here, which is indicating two people coming together and choosing to mix lives together. And I also just want to say this: whenever you're taking somebody or you're meeting somebody and you're engaging in a romantic relationship and you are involving that person in your day-to-day life, you're incorporating that person's life into your life, that is always going to be a bit, I don't want to say difficult, because it's not always going to be difficult, but that's always going to be, or present its own challenges, present its own set of like, we need to get used to this, or we need to get more comfortable with this, we need to adjustments. And that's kind of what the beginning of this relationship feels like. It feels like there's an adjustment period where we're working through our anxieties. We're working through our need to become more selfless. We're working through, again, needing to have more patience and needing to be able to communicate with more love. And then the burdens, I think the burdens are going to be different for all of you. But there's definitely going to be challenges in this relationship, especially during the early on stages. And when I say the early on stages, I mean the first year, maybe the first 2 years. And it's not going to be constant, but it is going to be prevalent enough that you're going to recognize it. Can I please get some confirmation on the Ten of Wands, please? Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups, you guys, is talking about somebody who's extremely intuitive. This is our emotional state. This is also very nurturing energy. So when I see this, I'm almost seeing this with the Ten of Wands. It's like one person in the relationship is carrying the emotional baggage. I think that throughout this relationship, or again, at least in the beginning, when the burdens are the heaviest, we have to teach our partner, or our partner's teaching us how to carry more of the emotional weight, okay? Because here's the thing, guys, it's under no circumstances is it ever acceptable for you to carry the entire emotional weight of a relationship. And because, again, we're ending this reading off on a positive note, it makes me believe that this person is somebody who is going to be capable, or you are somebody who is going to be capable of carrying the emotional weight. But it feels like in the beginning, it's heavy on us, or it's heavy on the person who is represented as the feminine. We also have the Four of Pentacles. So there could be a bit of like abandonment issues or issues around attachment styles. And the reason I'm saying that is the Four of Pentacles is talking about an energy that is essentially connected to, hold on guys, that is essentially connected to wanting to protect what you view as yours, wanting to protect what you view as valuable, right? So when I see this, I'm seeing this very much as like one party in this relationship, or both parties in this relationship, are really afraid of getting hurt. And that within itself can cause burdens, or can cause issues, or can cause delays in the relationship, right? So we are working through our fears in the relationship, and we are also working on not carrying all of the emotional weight and demanding that the other person in the relationship also carries emotional weight. And again, you guys, there's a major difference between somebody who has never been forced, or has never had the expectation placed upon them to be emotionally mature, or to behave in a manner that is, again, like selfless and patient and speaking like kind, loving words. Some people have only had relationships that are toxic and crazy, so they've never been asked or tasked with speaking with patience and love. They've never been tasked with being selfless. Maybe they haven't had very many relationships, right? Or serious relationships. So again, there's a big difference between somebody who's just like this and they refuse to change, and somebody who's like this and you bring up that it's bothering you and then they choose to change, or they make efforts to change, okay? Allow people a chance to evolve. Allow people a chance to grow. If you are older, and you're dating older men, okay? If you're like over the age of 28 and you're dating men who are also over the age of 28, or you're into men, you're into women, I don't give a frick, whatever. If everybody is over the age of 28 in this connection and they still don't got it together, that's a red flag that maybe you should, I don't know. It's not something I would be overly optimistic about in regards to that, because I just feel like adults, grown people should know how to act in a relationship. And if they don't, that's kind of not a you problem, but do what you want to do. Anyways, we have reconcile. This is resolving conflict, letting go of the past, forget the hate. So for a lot of you, this could be representing reconciling with somebody from your past. And again, it makes sense based on the fact that we do have the 10 of Wands here, which is representing those burdens. But also, you guys, it's very possible that this relationship is not starting off on the best note. And I'm saying this again, knowing that there are people who are listening to this who are like, ew, I don't want this person, yuck, get away, rebuke. And I understand. However, the reality of life is humans are not perfect. You are not perfect. I am not perfect. We all make mistakes. We all have really dark, disgusting things about ourselves. And some people were never taught how to be selfless. Some people were never taught how to talk calmly or how to speak gently. Some people were never taught these things. So again, I need to remind you, there's a difference between somebody who's just like this and doesn't want to change and somebody who is like this but is willing to change and open to change. So let's not get that confused. Anyways, reconcile, I do see this as like there being either this is someone who's your ex and you're coming back together with this person and you guys are choosing to face the difficulties together and move forward, or this is somebody new who you are going to fall madly in love with, and then problems are going to arise again in the early stages of the relationship. When I say early stages, I mean a year, 2 years max. If there's still problems 5 years down the road, that is not this person, okay? Reconciliation. You two are learning how to forgive each other, resolving conflicts, letting go of the past, moving forward, okay? We also have banishment. This is severing ties, protection from further injury. Okay, interesting. So it's really interesting to me that this is the love story between two life partners, because this almost seems like a love story of somebody who you are having difficulties letting go of, and that person is preventing you from having your life partner. Like for some reason, the banishment is giving me that type of vibe. I'll say it again. I'm gonna say it one more time. There's a major difference between somebody who has issues and somebody who's imperfect, and then somebody who's imperfect and has issues but thinks that they're perfect and thinks that they don't need to change and thinks that they're like, I'm just the best thing. Like, there's a difference. So it's your responsibility, group number one, to recognize the difference. If you are in a relationship or in a connection with somebody who has all these flaws, like major character flaws, and they are unwilling to change or unwilling to even recognize that they're flawed, that person is not worth your time. That person is somebody who you should be banishing from your life, because then you're preventing yourself from meeting your actual life partner, the person who is supposed to come into your life and treat you like a queen, treat you like a princess, treat you like a king. And that's that on that, okay? Banishment. We have oath to the moon. This is vows of love. If I'm being honest, you guys, now that I'm seeing all of this together, it is very possible that you're like severing ties with somebody. But there's two different groups of people here, because we do have that reconciliation. I'm having trouble because, again, it feels like there's a group of you here where it's like you're with this person and they're just not willing to change. They're not willing to evolve. And I'm not in the slightest trying to convince you guys to stay with that person or to continue to entertain that person. But then there are others of you where like this person is capable of growing. So it just feels like you're, again, going to have to determine who this person or where this person falls in your life. Oath to the moon, it's a vow of love. I see this as marriage. I see this as like committing yourself to somebody energetically in this lifetime. Like, I'm making an oath to you to love you for the rest of this life. That's how I'm seeing that. And I also see this very obviously connected to the Two of Cups. The way you're going to know this is your life partner, you guys, is again going back to the growth mindset. If somebody doesn't have a growth mindset, or somebody's not willing to admit when they're wrong or willing to admit when they messed up, that is not somebody that you want to spend the rest of your life with. That is somebody who you should sever ties from. But again, life is not that black and white. Like, there's nuance, and people are capable of changing. People are capable of growing and evolving if they want to, if they have a desire to. We have pacify as well. This is reassure, persuade, clarify, and identify. Okay. Pacify. Some of you are dealing with like an adult child. Some of you are dealing with somebody who quite literally is like an adult child. And again, that is not what I'm talking about when I'm saying like give people the opportunity to grow and evolve and change. If you feel like you have to be somebody's mother or somebody's father, no. The answer is no. Okay. We have children. It says your love life is being affected by children. So it's very possible, you guys, that you are choosing again, a part of your love story with this person is having children with them. And again, I just want to say this. There are two different groups of people here. Some people who pick this pile, like you are meant to work on these issues with this person and to have this reconciliation. You are meant to move forward. Again, those of you who are seeing growth and change in this person, you're meant to move forward. For those of you who you're not seeing growth or you're not seeing change in this person, you do need to sever ties because you are preventing yourself from meeting this person who wants to make this vow of love to you, who wants to have a family with you, whether that's human children or animal children, or whether that's just the two of you together. We also have free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life. All right. So again, there is a group of you here who picked this pile where you are required to free yourself from this person. You need to cut ties with this person. You need to move on because you're holding yourself back from meeting somebody who is again going to give you that vow of love, who is going to want to, I was going to say consume you, who is going to want to share a life with you and build a life with you. If you are not seeing growth, if you are not seeing evolution with this person, if you get into a relationship 6 months from now and there are issues or there are problems that you guys are facing, there's this, there's that, whatever, and you are not seeing that person actively trying to make a difference or to make a change or to grow, you have to free yourself from that person. It is your responsibility to yourself to let go of the people in your life or the romantic partners in your life who aren't showing or aren't showing up in a way that is productive for the relationship, okay? So free yourself from anyone who, again, is not showing up in a productive manner for the relationship. And that's not to say that people aren't allowed to make mistakes. People, again, are 100% allowed to make mistakes. It's just you're not allowed to continuously make mistakes after it's been addressed and you're making no effort to grow and change. I find this interesting. We have toil and labor. So again, I feel like for those of you where this person is your life partner and you're meant to work on things, it's going to be a lot of work. It's going to be a lot of effort, but there is this great fortune that comes with that hard work and effort, right? The grass is greener where you water it. The grass isn't greener on the other side. The grass is greener where you water it. So I want you guys to keep that in mind. Now, I want to also, again, make it really clear, and I'm going to have to continue to repeat myself on this. If you're the only person watering it, if you're the only person showing up to the grass, to the garden, to make sure it's nice and prim and proper, that grass isn't worth watering, okay? Like, it's not worth it. Like, move on to a different field where you can have somebody who's going to help you upkeep. We have new love, and this says new love or a new phase in love is beginning. And this card, you guys, is wrapping up essentially everything that I'm trying to say in this entire reading in a little bow, okay? For some of you, this is going to be a new love. You are moving on again from this person who has shown you over and over and over again that they're not willing to change, they're not willing to grow, they're not willing to evolve. You are choosing to move on from them. And if you have that person in your life right now, you already know who they are. Like, you already know. You already are aware of the fact that they're not growing. You're already aware of the fact that they're not changing. It doesn't take anything for you to just witness somebody's actions, right? Pay attention to what somebody is doing, not what they're saying. If somebody is actively showing you that they are not going to change, they're not going to grow, then it's not going to be a new phase in love. It's going to be a new person. It's going to be a new love in general. And again, for others of you, we have a new phase in love is beginning. If you have had issues in your relationship, but you're like, I love this person and they love me and they're making an effort to change, they're making an effort to grow, that's beautiful, that's wonderful. There is a new phase of love happening for you in this relationship, okay? We have acceptance. Accept yourself and others as they are. This liberates patterns of resistance open to flow. All right. And again, guys, this is just to say that, like, you cannot force somebody to change. People change when they want to change. Also, you cannot expect perfection out of anybody, and you cannot expect perfection out of yourself. People are imperfect, and we can cry about it and we can be upset about it and we can be like, woe is me. But at the end of the day, people are not perfect. People make mistakes. People screw up all the time. Again, you screw up, I screw up, we all screw up. Like, none of us are perfect. So becoming accepting of that, of like humans are going to disappoint you. Stop expecting people to blow you out of the water. Stop expecting more of other people than you do of yourself. Because again, if you are self-aware, you know that you make mistakes, you know that you're not perfect. And guys, when I say these things, I am not condoning, again, any type of physical abuse or inappropriate, lusty type of abuse. I'm not condoning cheating. I'm not condoning any of these things. You are the person who sets your boundaries. I think that everybody should have the boundary of like, you can't physically do harm to me. But yeah, that's what I have to say on that. Moving on to our last few cards, we have a Neptune here, and this is dream and transcend. So when Neptune comes into a reading, you guys, this is talking about creating a bit of confusion, creating a bit of a haze, okay? Neptune is a very dreamy, a very spiritual planet, and it does tend to bring a bit of confusion. Now, I will say this, with this particular reading, I'll say this. Love is blinding, right? When you are in love with somebody, you are blind. You are not at your sharpest. You're not at your wittiest. You are not at your top tier, your best, okay? You're just not. Love makes us crazy. Love makes us goo goo gaga, and we're just not able to act in a way that we would if we weren't in love, right? So when I see this, it is telling me that there is going to be a bit of back and forth internally when it comes to this person, this relationship, because you're not going to know, like, do I stay? Do I go? What do we work through this, or do I move on? And again, I need you guys to remember that when this relationship occurs, those of you who are going to enter into a new relationship with your actual life partner, you are going to move on from this person because you are going to see that they are not making an effort. They are not making changes. They are not putting forth any type of energy to improve. For those of you who are staying with this person and you're working on it and you're reconciling and you're healing, okay? You're going to stay and you're going to heal with this person because you are going to physically see the fact that they are putting in that effort. They're putting in that change. And I also want to say this, you guys, it's easy to put in effort for the first month. It's easy to put in effort for the first 3 months. I'm talking about long-term effort, 6 months, 8 months, a year, 2 years, okay? Somebody doesn't change if they change for a month, okay? Somebody's not changing if they change for 3 months. Like, that's not a change, okay? That's not a change. That's manipulation, okay? So essentially what I'm saying is, if you see consistent change in somebody who's consistently putting forth effort and consistently trying to improve, that is a good sign for you to, again, continue forward. We have conjunction. This is a union, merging and coming together. Obviously, this is just talking about merging and coming together, which is the foundation of the whole reading, right? Vows of love, the Two of Cups, mixing our lives together. And then the last card I have for you guys is the 5th house. This is passion, play, children, confidence, and creativity. All right. So these are the things that I think are going to engulf this relationship for those of you who you are meant to stay with this person. I think that you guys are meant to have children together, or you're meant to build a family together. I think that your creative juices are going to be overflowing with this person. I also believe that you're going to feel very passionate about this person, and vice versa. They're going to feel very passionate about you. And I think that overall this relationship is going to be a relationship in which you can have a lot of fun in. Now, if these things are lacking, then you are falling into the group of the group that needs to leave, the group that needs to free themselves, okay? And again, there's 2 different groups of people here. So keep that in mind. Overall, I think the message for you guys, the love story for you guys is nobody's perfect, number 1. Actions speak louder than words. And if somebody's actions are in alignment with not caring about you or not putting effort towards the relationship, then you owe it to yourself to be free. So then you can go find the person who is going to put forth that action, is going to put forth that effort, okay? And for those of you who are choosing to stay with this person and work on your garden together, nobody's perfect. Forgiveness is something that we should all learn how to do. And I do think as long as both parties here are willing to move forward and to put in the equal amount of effort, there is a great, beautiful relationship that can be had here. There is this like great fortune. There is this vow of love. That there is this like mixing of the cups. There is this new phase beginning in the relationship, okay? So that is what I have for you guys, group number 1. I know this is a little bit rough, so I'm sorry about that, but I hope that it resonated, or I hope that it was at least helpful. Thank you so very much. I'm sending you love, and that is all I got. Hello, group number 2. Welcome to your guys' reading. Let's go ahead and get started with the dice. If you're new here, the dice is extra. It's dessert. So if your sign doesn't pop up, it's genuinely and wholeheartedly really not that deep. I love this because we have Cancer and we have Scorpio. As a Cancer sun and a Scorpio moon, I love me a Cancer-Scorpio combo. We have Scorpio and Leo. Hello, Scorpio. Hello, Leo. Ooh, my Saturn babies. We have Aquarius and we have, sorry, Capricorn about being upside down, but Aquarius and Capricorn. All right, guys. Let's go ahead and get into it. We have the 8 of Cups, the 7 of Wands, the 3 of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune, the Ace of Swords, and the Hierophant. So Taurus energy, hello, as well. Okay, guys. I'm gonna be honest. The love story between you and your life partner, it seems like it starts off on you leaving behind a Dusty. Now, is this Dusty a man? Is this Dusty a woman? Is this Dusty a job or a location or a friend? I don't know. Perhaps I will pull some clarification cards on this in a moment, but we're walking away from a Dusty. We're walking away from something or someone who is just, not the move, not the vibe, not the era, okay? Not our journey. We're walking away from that, okay? Again, don't know what this is, but we're walking away from something. We are saying toodles, all right? Now, I also think, based on the next card, that there was some jealousy in this era or with this person that was unhealthy for us, okay? 7 of Swords talks about a need or a feeling, like there is a need to essentially defend something or protect something that you view as yours, okay? So when I see the 7 of Wands, it's telling me that there's like jealous energy around you at the time in which you are meeting this person. And I feel like the way that you are going to know this person is your life partner is there's going to be a lack of jealousy in, oh my gosh, my throat, in regards to like, it's not that you're never going to feel jealous with this person or possessive over this person or territorial over this person or vice versa, but it's almost like I know that they have my back 100%, so I'm not even worried about it. Like, not to say that you will never experience jealousy, but it's like your partner's never giving you a reason to feel jealousy, okay? We also have growth and expansion, so it does make me feel like this relationship is a relationship that is based on you both growing together, expanding together, becoming the best versions of yourselves together. Now, I'm someone who very much believes that, like, it doesn't matter how much you love somebody. It doesn't matter how beautiful a relationship is. It doesn't matter how long the relationship has lasted. If somebody's bringing out the worst... Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I just heard a little... if somebody's bringing out the worst in you, or if you're bringing out the worst in somebody else, that's not your person, all right? That's not the person you should be with, okay? Your person that you should be spending your time with, your life partner, should be somebody who brings out and inspires the best in you, okay? If they are triggering you or bringing out the worst qualities about yourself, or if there's somebody who even it's like an energy of feeling drained around them or feeling just exhausted around them, that is not your person, okay? Your person is going to be somebody who is helping you grow and expand, somebody who's inspiring you to grow and expand. This is a person you want to grow with them. You want to expand with this person, and vice versa. It's not going to be a situation again where it's like, oh, I feel like they're holding me back, or I feel like they're bringing out the worst in me. We also have the Wheel of Fortune. So I do view this relationship as a very serendipitous relationship. Like, it's starting off in a very serendipitous manner. Now, that's not to say that every person that you meet serendipitously is your person. I want to make that mega clear. this person specifically that you were spending your life with feels very serendipitous. So you could be meeting somebody tomorrow in a serendipitous manner. That doesn't mean that they're your person. All right, I just want to make that. Okay. The Wheel of Fortune is also talking about fate. So there's an element of fate between you and this person. Now that fate could be you guys having a child together. That fate could be you guys moving to another country together. That fate could be perhaps you guys getting into a particular career field and making an impact on the community or on the collective as a whole together, right? But when I see fate, when I see destiny, it tells me that there is a higher purpose to this connection. I always say myself, the reason why my stepfather and my mother were together is because like I would not be here without my siblings, and I feel like my siblings have done a lot of good in the world, and again, without the connection of my stepfather and my mother, I would not have them here. So everything happens for a reason, and there is a higher purpose for everything, and I'm seeing this connection as that, right? Like you guys are together for a reason. We also have the Ace of Swords. So this person is not going to be like people that you've dated before in the past. And if that annoys you, or if that makes you feel like I want my type, I hear you, I get it, but perhaps your type is not good for you. Perhaps your type is not what you need, okay? And I'm not talking about physicality, you guys. When I'm talking about a type, I'm talking about the same character in a different suit. The same character in a different... I was going to say emoji, in a different skin, all right? This is telling me that the person who is your life partner is going to be somebody who is so new. It feels very foreign. It feels very much like being with them feels a bit, I don't want to say jarring, but it's just nothing that we've experienced previously. Their personality, the way they treat us, the relationship dynamic, it just feels completely different than anything that we've experienced previously. And the reason why I'm saying that is the Ace of Swords does represent a breakthrough, okay? To me, this is somebody who's standing out in a very unique way. And then we have the Hierophant, which is my Taurus babies. Taurus, I feel like I've seen so much hate on Tauruses lately. I love you, Taurus. Like, mwah, mwah, mwah. You deserve all the roses, all the kisses, all the flowers. Hierophant, okay. This is stability, consistency. This is tradition. This is marriage. So when I see this, you guys, it is telling me that for those of you who picked this pile, you are most likely to end up in a traditional relationship with this person. Now, if you're a part of the LGBTQ community, that's not to say that you're not going to be in a traditional relationship. I think that the dynamics can still be traditional regardless of, you know, whatever's going on with your partner and you and like whatever. When I say traditional, I mean like marriage. I mean living together. I mean monogamy. I mean we wear rings. I mean, I don't know. Perhaps we share similar spiritual beliefs. Tradition, okay? It does not mean that, I don't know. It does not mean anything that is phobic of any way or ism of any way. The Hierophant, stability, consistency, longevity, marriage, okay? Okay. I want to know what you guys are walking away from, just because I'm nosy. Can I get the 8 of Cups? I want clarification on that. What are we leaving behind? Said none of your business. The 8 of Cups again. To clarify the 8 of Cups. We're walking away. We're walking away. I'm going to try one more time. Okay. Well, we are walking away from heartbreak. Okay, so again, we're walking away from a dusty. We're walking away from somebody who is just really not the time. They're not the moment. They are not the vibe. 3 of Swords. I essentially, like, you're the boyfriend who's treating you like garbage, the boyfriend who's cheating on you, the girlfriend who's cheating on you, the one who's like not texting you back. Like, we're leaving that behind. We're not doing any of that. So whoever the dusty is at the time in which you are meeting this person, you're leaving them behind. You're saying toodle-doo, okay? That could, again, be a friendship. I do feel like friendships also are heartbreaking when they end, but for the vast majority of you, you're getting out of a relationship and you're moving on to one that is actually flourishing and worth your time and energy. All right. We have step 4. This says bring forward, make progress, accelerate. All right, accelerate. So when I see this, again, you guys, the way that I'm viewing it for you guys, the love story between you and your life partner, it's going to be a love story that is propelling you forward and not holding you back. If you feel at any moment that, oh my God, not the light going out. If you feel at any moment that your partner is somebody who's holding you back or preventing you from flourishing, preventing you from being the best you that you can be, that is not your person, okay? You both are going to inspire each other and motivate each other to expand. Because again, we do have that 3 of Wands energy. I kind of love just the purple. Anyways, we have a metaphor for love. This is flirt and seduction. Obviously, I think this relationship is starting off on a very seductive, flirty note. I think this relationship is starting off in a manner that is just playful and I don't want to say non-committal, but perhaps it's just we're not jumping into it with the idea of like, oh my God, I'm going to marry you and have your babies. It feels more lighthearted, which makes sense. Again, if you guys are meeting in a serendipitous manner, it makes sense to me that it would start off more flirty and airy and lighthearted. This connection between you and your life partner, it may feel very much like it's taken you by surprise, like you've almost gotten sick with like the love bug. And the more you talk to this person, the more you get to know them, the more you're just like, I really don't have time to be in love right now. Like I don't have the energy. I don't have the resources to do this. But it almost feels like there's no choice. It almost feels like we've just been struck by love and we cannot escape. I'm sorry that the cards are sticking to me, you guys. I am moisturized. And we have fall in love, and this is enchanting love. And I feel like whenever anyone falls in love, it feels enchanting. It feels magical. I always say this, like love is the purest form of magic that we have here on earth. Like I genuinely believe that. When you are genuinely in love with somebody, when you genuinely are falling in love with somebody, it is quite literally the closest thing to like magic that we have. At least in a way where we can like, never mind. I'm just gonna leave it there. Falling in love. So, love that for you guys. We have attraction. It says you attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. So I do believe that this love story is starting off, again, in a moment, in a time in which you are not necessarily focusing on, oh, like I want to attract a man or I want to attract, it feels very much like I'm focused on me. I'm focused on being attractive for myself. I'm focused on making myself feel good, making myself feel happy. And the reality is, you guys, like people who are happy, people who feel good about themselves, people who are just living their, like they are attractive. So it makes sense that you'd be attracting somebody during a time in which you are pouring into yourself, during a time in which you are feeding and nourishing your own self-image, what it is you want to look like, the kind of person you want to be. It makes sense you would attract somebody at that time, right? Versus when you are just giving up on life and you're like, woe is me, life sucks, life's awful. Not saying that you can't have moments like that, but it just makes sense that you would be attracting this person during a time where you are fully enjoying and embracing life. We have true love, and it says this is a romance of a lifetime, okay? So this is a romance of a lifetime. It's going to feel, oh my gosh, I just got butterflies in my stomach. Oh, I'm scared. Oh, I want to cry. This is going to be a love that doesn't feel, again, like you guys have been in love before. Some of you, most of you have been in love before. Being in love with this person is going to feel like a whole new experience. Being in love with this person is going to make you question whether or not you've been in love before. I also feel like this is not a love that's like based on like, oh, like they're just so attractive, so I'm in love with them. Or it doesn't feel like a silly fra la 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 type of like, oh, I'm just in love with them because I'm in love with them. It feels like there's like a real foundation here between the two of you, and it's genuine. It's not just like, oh, I love you on a surface level, but I love you beyond that. We have expectations. So again, you guys, I don't think that this person is meeting your expectations. I think this person is going to be different from what your expectations are. And that's not a bad thing. Again, that's not to say this person's unattractive. That's not to say this person is a bad person. If anything, I think this person is better than what it is you have been engaging in or with romantically. When I see expectations, I just see it very much in alignment with like You're not expecting this person to be your life partner. You're not expecting this kind of person to be your life partner, okay? And I think that's a good thing. Like, I don't think that's a negative thing at all. We also have a gift, and I'm seeing this as a surprise, you guys. It almost feels like a surprise, like, gift, or a surprise, like, I don't want to say a surprise birthday, but that's for some reason like what's coming into mind, like a surprise birthday where we're just like, oh, I wasn't expecting this to be all of this, and now it is, and I'm just like, oh, it's like a surprise little gift. So, sorry, my Celsius. Again, I think that this person's coming into your life in a very serendipitous manner. I don't think you are necessarily seeking this out. This is being given to you. This is being gifted to you by the universe. I feel like this is someone who, again, you're going to look at them and you're just going to feel like, oh my God, like I feel like I've literally just stumbled upon a diamond mine. I also want to say this really quick, you guys, and I'm saying this from a place of love, and I'm not saying this to worry anybody or to fearmonger, but I'm saying this from a place of love. When you meet this person, keep it to yourself, okay? Keep the ins and the outs of this relationship to yourself. Now, I'm not saying eventually you can't talk about it with family or with friends, but I would keep this a very, very private, very, very DL. I'm not, again, saying you can't post this person or this person shouldn't post you. I'm just saying if you are happy and you're like living your best, I wouldn't be so quick to share that with social media or with people who may not have your best interest at heart, or people who, even if you have like a parent or a loved one or a friend or a cousin or a coworker who's like in a negative relationship, I would refrain from sharing your happy gift with that person. Because unfortunately, like, even if people love us and care about us, they don't always have the ability to be happy for us. And negative energy is real. And I would just, if you're happy, keep it to yourself. Or keep it as to yourself as you possibly can. We have occupation as well. It's interesting. I was like, coworker. It's very possible for some of you that you are working with this person and that is how you are meeting them. We could also, though, see this as a relationship that requires work, which all relationships require work. This work is going to be worth it. When I see occupation, this feels very much like an occupation is not just something that you partake in the moment. I feel like an occupation is something that you're engaging in long term. So that may also be an indication of this relationship and the seriousness of this relationship. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Like I view the word occupation and the word career as like long term, or something that's like lasting the majority of our lives, something that we're committing ourselves to, versus like a job is just a job. It's just something we're doing in the moment. But an occupation just feels, at least to me, more serious and long-term. So that is how I'm seeing this. Also, the desire to pour into this connection, the desire to pour into this relationship. We have new beginnings, let go, change, time to move forward, risks and opportunity. So I do believe that at the time in which you meet this person, you are newly heartbroken, or you have just gotten over heartbreak, or you are in the process of trying to heal from heartbreak. And again, for a lot of you, this is going to be romantically speaking, but for some of you, it very well could be a platonic situation or a situation with your family that you're trying to heal from. But regardless, I do believe you are letting go of a dusty situation or person. You're moving on, you're moving forward. And when you meet this person, it is going to be a bit scary. It's going to be a bit concerning, right? Because it's like, I just got my heart broken. I'm sad. I'm disappointed. I don't necessarily feel confident giving my heart away again. And this is telling me that like you are letting go. You are embracing this change. And to be with this person, to experience this love, it's going to require a level of risk, okay? And we also have true love, you guys. And this is a divine connection, with true love has already showed up for you guys in the other oracle card. So I find this interesting that this is something that came up twice. And the last few cards we have here is Aries. This says independence, bravery, and passion. All right. And independence showing up makes a lot of sense considering the fact that the beginning of the reading, right, is that Eight of Cups, that walking away, leaving behind the dusty, leaving behind the whatever it is that was not working for us, embracing that energy of being brave enough to walk away, standing on our own 2 feet and being independent. So this is very much where you are going to be at when you meet this person. And I also feel like this person's not going to take this away from you. For those of you who desire freedom, desire independence, want to be respected as an individual, which most people should want that, this person's not going to try to take that away from you. This person's not going to try to stifle your fire. We have the 3rd house of communication. This is early learning, childhood relations, and the rational mind and communication. Okay. So childhood communications, I find that interesting. This person could be somebody who you knew when you were a child or when you were a young adult. This person could also be somebody, though, where like communication is really, really important in the beginning, for you guys to have clear and concise communication, for you guys to verbalize your feelings very plainly to this person, or else that could lead to confusion. Obviously, communication is important in all relationships, but I think for you guys specifically, communicating early on is going to build a really strong foundation. I think it's also possible, again, I know this isn't connected to work necessarily, but it's talking about early childhood learning and education. It is making me feel like it's possible you guys are meeting through some type of education or work situation. And then we have Pluto as our last card. And this is a transformation. This is death. This is rebirth. So obviously, you guys, leaving behind that Eight of Cups is going to be something that is life-changing. Leaving behind that Eight of Cups is leading you to this person. And ultimately, the kind of love that you are having with this person, with your life partner, it's a true love. It's a stable love. It's a consistent love. And I feel like whatever you guys were walking away from previously, you didn't know if that was going to be possible. You didn't know if there was going to be stability in the connection, or if there was going to be happiness, or if there was going to be a time of peace. And in walking away, that was also scary. And walking away, it's also like, oh, I don't know if this is the right thing to do. But in walking away and meeting this person, like, you're having the validation of like, you did the right thing. Okay, this transformation did not happen for no reason. This death happened with a purpose. Okay, so that's what I have for you guys, group number 2. Thank you guys so very much for allowing me to read for you today. I hope that this was helpful, and that's all I got. So bye. Hello, group number 3. Welcome to your guys' reading. I'm going to go ahead and start off with the dice. If you're new here, the dice is extra. It's dessert. So if your sign doesn't pop up, it's genuinely and wholeheartedly not that deep. It's not that serious. It's fine. We have double Libra. Hello, Libra. Love you the most. Double Cancer. Hello, my fellow Cancerians. Love you guys the most too. Got scared. We have Taurus and we have Cancer again. Oops. Taurus, Cancer. Pisces, honorable mention just because I accidentally showed that to the camera. Anyways. We also have Sagittarius here in the card. So hello, Sagittarius, Cancer, and Libra, Taurus as well. Sorry. Okay. So this is a little bit of a heavy message, guys, okay? Stay with me. I don't think this is heaviness in regards to the love story between you and your life partner, okay? I think the beginning of this message has more so to do with self-hatred, with a lack of self-love, with a lack of self-respect, with a lack of self-image in a positive light. For some reason, immediately upon touching this card, it just feels like self-inflicted pain. It just feels like we need to address this, again, this heavy energy that we are putting on ourselves. Now, this may express itself, you guys, because here's the thing. I think there are some times where people are like, I don't hate myself. I love myself. But then you partake in behavior that is not reflective of that. Or you partake in relationships that don't reflect that. Somebody who loves themselves does not tolerate disrespect, does not tolerate people around them disrespecting them continuously or hurting them continuously. Like, if you loved yourself, you would not do that. There's a difference between like accepting somebody who makes a mistake and like working on that mistake, but a continuous disrespect or a continuous showing up and not like having someone not love you or show you over and over and over again that they don't love you, that is self-hatred. So I don't necessarily think this has to do, again, with the love of your life or with your life partner or with a partner in general, I think this has more so to do with how it is you treat yourself and how it is that you show up for yourself in your day-to-day, and need to adjust that, okay? We also have this judgment card, all right, you guys? And judgment is essentially talking about morals and beliefs. Now, when I'm seeing this again, it's making me feel like for some of you who picked this pile, for some reason you don't believe. And again, maybe you're like, yes, I do. I believe I deserve love. But again, your actions aren't showing that. Or you're like, yes, I deserve the best. I deserve this. But your actions, again, and what you're participating in isn't showing that. Okay. So there's going to be a readjustment period for you guys, group number 3, in which the judgment is falling on your shoulders for you to make change within yourself. And this change has a lot to do with your self-concept and self-love and your self-respect, okay? I think this is the beginning of the love story between you and your life partner. Because I don't believe that for this group, you're going to be capable of having a long-term relationship with somebody where there's either marriage involved or like you're living together or you're able to stay together for decades and decades without this being shifted. Because if you cannot shift this, you're going to end up in a relationship or in a connection with somebody who's not giving you the respect and the love that you are worthy of, that you're deserving of. And then you're going to end up being like, oh, I can't do this because you suck. So we're working on our self-concept. We're working on our self-love. The judgment is falling on our shoulders for us to adjust or to stand in alignment with our morals, to stand in alignment with what it is we believe we deserve, okay? Now, there is some heartbreak, you guys, that's showing up here as well. The beginning of the love story between you and your life partner, it could be starting off with heartbreak. I do believe oftentimes, at least for a lot of people, getting your heart broken and then falling in love a year later, 2 years later is oftentimes the case. Like, I feel like the idea of somebody like being an adult and meeting the love of their life and then not having their heart broken, like, I don't know. I just feel like heartbreak is a part of the equation for essentially almost everybody. I know that's not the case for literally everybody, but for almost everybody, I do believe heartbreak is a part of growing, is a part of evolving, is a part of understanding, again, what you deserve and what you don't deserve. So when I see this heartbreak, I'm essentially just registering this again as like you guys getting to a place where you recognize, like, I love myself and I'm not willing to put up with somebody who's not going to treat me like a princess. I'm not willing to put up with somebody who's going to do A, B, and C, whatever your boundaries are. So the beginning of the relationship between you and your life partner, you guys, it's not based between you and them. It's based between you and you. All right. So you need to get you right. Group number 3, you need to get really well acquainted with what your boundaries are, what you expect from a partner, what you need from a partner, what you don't need. And obviously I feel like in dating, you have firsthand experience to like be able to decipher that. I know for me, the more people that I've dated throughout my life, I feel like the better I understand what I want and what I don't want. And then some things I'm like, I didn't even realize that I needed to ask for that. I didn't even realize that that was like a requirement that I should voice. Regardless, getting really well acquainted with your boundaries, getting really well acquainted with yourself and what you want and what you know you're deserving of, okay? And not wavering on that. Not wavering on that just because you're like, oh, they're a nice person, or oh, they seem to really like me. Okay. We also have the 3 of coins, all right? So for some of you, the beginning of this relationship with your life partner is going to start in the therapy room. I know there's a lot of, like, there are a lot of people still in the world who look at therapy and they go, ew, yuck. Ooh, people who go to therapy, ugh, pathetic. No. If you go to therapy, like, you are strong because you're facing your problems and you're not just stuffing them down. You're not just putting them under the rug, sweeping them under the rug. Obviously, I know that therapy is a privilege and it's not something that everybody could afford. So obviously, if you cannot afford this, that is not for you. There are things that you can do that are more affordable, such as like reading self-help books, journaling, talking to friends, trying to perhaps consume content that is available on free platforms to better yourself, But regardless, the Three of Coins is talking about coming together with other people to build something outside of yourself, to build something greater than what it once was. So I'm seeing this for you guys, group number 3, again, as you needing help, perhaps during, again, the beginning stages or before you meet this person, to get to a place where you feel healthy, where you feel strong, where you feel worthy, where you feel deserving, okay? And the reason why all of this is so important, you guys, again, is because if you do not love yourself, if you do not have respect for yourself, if you are constantly causing harm to yourself or engaging in activities that's causing harm to yourself, that's not love, and you're going to end up in a toxic relationship, or you're going to end up in a situation that you don't deserve to be in, right? Because it's like this person's not treating you the way that you deserve to be treated. We have it Temperance here, and Temperance is talking about balance, all right? It's talking about harmony. It's talking about a readjustment. So I love this because I believe that this is the beginning of this relationship, okay? This is the beginning of the relationship in which we feel very at peace. We feel harmonized. We feel balanced. We are not overextending our energy to this person. We are not throwing all of our eggs into the basket of this person. We feel very secure in who it is that we are. We feel very secure in our being at the time in which we meet our life partner, okay? And I think that this is providing a really strong foundation for you guys to grow the relationship further, because the Ace of Wands is representing new growth, a new beginning. So if any of you were wondering, oh, is this an ex? Is this somebody from my past? I don't think this is somebody from your past. I think that this is quite literally somebody who is going to completely spark a new flame within you. I don't think this is somebody who is like reheating the leftovers. I feel like this is a new plate, okay? This is a new dish. This represents, like I said, growth. This represents a new beginning, passion. Oftentimes I do associate this with like moving in with somebody, having a family with somebody, getting married. I say having a family because this is a wand card, and the wands do represent passion. Obviously, when you're in a hetero relationship, oftentimes, and again, nuance, but oftentimes that leads to, you know, the womb being filled. So anyways, I have to explain that because I've had people be like, that doesn't make sense. We have secret help, keeping secrets, anonymous, goodwill. Okay, so again, you guys, I don't know if you guys need to go seek out some church, if you need to go seek out a therapist, a mentor, a guide. I don't know. I do not know. I do not have the understanding of exactly who, what, where, or why you need this. But I do believe for you guys, group number 3, you do need to seek help. And that could be professional help. That could be non-traditional help. That could be, I don't know what kind of help this is, but I do believe that this specific group, you guys do need to be seeking out help. Maybe this is even just you seeking out help within your friends or within your family members, leaning on other people for support. We are social creatures. We need each other in order to survive and to live a happy life. Even if you are antisocial, even if you are an introvert, you need other humans in your life to live a fulfilling life. So I'm seeing this as you reaching out to those individuals, or again, reaching out for professional help. And I don't know, what I'm picking up on could be for a lot of you, but I know it's not for all of you. But what I'm picking up on, it feels very much like a need to address certain traumas. This could be from past relationships. This could be from childhood. This could be abandonment issues. This could be daddy issues. This could be an array of different things, but I do believe that there is a need to seek out some type of guidance or some type of help. We have literally seeking help, talking, conference, and consult. Again, I don't know. Oh my God, my throat. Hold on, guys. Okay, the Celsius cleared my pipes. I don't know if you guys need to be literally going to church. I know a lot of you here are not traditionally religious, and I myself am not traditionally religious at all. I'm not religious, period. But point is, for some people that is really helpful. For some people that provides a lot of comfort, and it provides good guidance in regards to, like, you know, living a life that is perhaps more peaceful. If that's not for you, don't worry about it. That's not for me either. Go seek a therapist, okay? Or go seek out a spiritual counselor. Professional help, though, definitely seems to be something that is required for this group, or something that at least the majority of you should be seeking out. And this is not to say there's anything wrong with you, or that you're damaged or that you're broken or anything like that. But it is to say that I do believe that there is some type of outside energy that needs to penetrate this situation in order to get you in a place where you feel good and strong and healthy, and ready to move forward in a relationship in a productive manner. Again, for some of you it will be counseling, for others of you it will be like a religious structure, but we have the balcony, and this is the land of love. Okay, the land of love, again, you guys, I think the foundation starts with you. The foundation to this connection starts with you and where you're at. So I think that this love is going to blossom when you are in a place where you're very, very stable with yourself. And that's not to say that you're like, I don't want a relationship, I'm fine. Screw men, screw women, I just want to be by myself. It's not to say that's where you're at, but it's to say you're in a place where there is more security internally. And I feel like that is when this land of love, this balcony situation is going to be taking place for you guys. We have marriage as well. This is wedding, matrimony, and wedlock. So again, I think in order to have this like happy, healthy marriage, you have to be good within yourself. And you know what? Someone the other day said something that I found really interesting. It's the people who need to be in therapy are the people that cause those of us who go to therapy to need therapy. If that makes sense to anybody. And I just really hit me and I was like, wow, tell me about it. Like that is something to really ponder on. So again, guys, it's important for you to be good within yourself and to feel strong with who you are, to know thyself prior to meeting this person, because you are one half of the relationship. And if you are not good, the relationship's not good. It doesn't matter how much love is there. It doesn't matter if you guys are like, oh my gosh, this is my soulmate, this is my twin flame, this is my everything. If you are unwell mentally, emotionally, if you're struggling with your attachment style, if you're struggling with abandonment issues or with things from your past or with past relationships, like you have to address that in order to move forward in a healthy manner with anybody, okay? And I think again, for a lot of you who have picked this pile, that is the path that you're taking prior to meeting this person. And then meeting this person, the relationship itself is going to feel very stable because you've done that work. Okay, this isn't funny. I'm just laughing because we have codependency. Its addictions are affecting your romantic life. So yeah, for some of you, it could quite literally be like addictions. I don't know if it's like an addiction to vape or this is like an addiction to other substances or adult beverages or things like that. Codependency could also be being addicted to love though. Not to point out any particular celebrity or person in my personal life, but there are a handful of people that I can think of who are addicted to love, who are addicted to relationships, who are addicted to just the feeling of having somebody in their life. And that within itself is showing a lack of security with who it is that you are. So again, this is nothing to be ashamed of, you guys. Like, we're social creatures. We need other humans to survive. So this is literally nothing to be ashamed of, but perhaps addressing this prior to meeting this person is the path that you're taking. And that's what's leading to this, like, going to a place of marriage or going to a place of like, I can spend the rest of my life with this person. Because again, guys, we're not talking about like your next boyfriend or your next like lover, or your next hookup. Like, we're talking about somebody who you have the intention and they have the intention of spending the rest of your life with this person. It makes sense that we would first be getting healthy prior to being capable of even having that relationship. Okay, we have stay optimistic about your love life. It says positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. Okay, so essentially what this is like, don't allow the world to make you jaded. Don't allow other people to make you jaded. And this is really hard for me to like say this as well, because I feel like I'm somebody who has experienced a lot of betrayal from the male species. And it's difficult, right? It's really, really difficult to not get a little bitter, to not get a little like, but obviously in order to move forward in a healthy manner in any relationship, like whether it's with somebody new or somebody you're currently like, whatever it is, like you have to stay optimistic or else there's just like, what's the point? You know, nobody wants to put up with someone who's just a freaking pessimistic little skank. Can I say that on YouTube? Can I say skank? I don't know. Anyways, we have it, stay free to love. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. So I think that's your guys' journey, right? Like feeling safe, feeling secure to love again, and trusting yourself that like you're going to recognize red flags moving forward. You're going to recognize when somebody is truly there for you and wants you for you and loves you for you versus somebody who's just using you, or versus somebody who is non-serious, versus somebody who is just, a silly, goofy little boy or girl person. That Celsius is really hitting. Okay. We have a mature woman. Again, it makes sense to me that you guys have gone through therapy, or that you guys are going to be going through therapy. You guys are going to be maturing and growing. For a lot of you, this person who you are going to be spending the rest of your life with, the love of your life partner, this person's going to come into your life later in your life, or this person's going to come into your life at a time in which you have gotten to a place where you are more mature, where you are more stable, where you're no longer in a place of feeling erratic or chaotic. Now, mature does not mean that you have to be like past the age of childbearing or anything like that. Mature just means that you've seen some life. Your frontal cortex is developed. We have a journey as well. So I do think for this group specifically, you are going to be experiencing your life partner. You're going to be having this partnership not in your 20s is what I would say. Okay. That could mean like you're turning 30, 31, you meet this person, okay? That could mean 40, that could mean 50, that could mean 60, that could mean 70, all right? But regardless, you guys, it's going to feel very much like a journey that we have gone through prior to meeting this person. It's going to feel like we have gone through quite a bit. But I think once we get to the other side, there is this stability. There is this feeling of safety. There is this feeling of being extremely content with where it is that we are at, with who it is we are with. I feel like for a lot of you who are watching this, there is an intense, I don't know if it's like trauma that you've experienced. And for a lot of you, it just also feels like it's like with past boyfriends or girlfriends, like past people that you've dated who've just like wrecked your heart. It feels like there's such intense healing that we are taking, or that needs to take place before we're in a place where we can attract our life partner, before we're in a place where we feel like we can bring this person in, okay? But once we get to that place, it is going to feel like coming home. It is going to feel like safety. It's going to feel like security, stability, consistency, someone who we can always rely on. All right. We have a detour, divine intervention, delays, and detours. This makes sense again because we have that maturity here. I do feel like for this group, love may feel like a struggle, especially early on in your life. It may feel like, why me? Like, why am I always ending up in these relationships that are just shite? Essentially, detours are guiding you towards the path, towards the person that you are meant to be with. And every time I go through a breakup, I'm currently still in a relationship, but every time I go through a breakup, I feel like I never level down. I never go to somebody or move on to somebody who is worse than the person I was with prior. I always end up in a better situation. I always end up with somebody who is more loving, more emotionally mature, more in alignment with like what I want and where I see my future. Always, always, always. So if something doesn't work out, you guys, that simply means that there's somebody out there better for you. That simply means that this person's not your person. And although that's sad and it's not always easy to just walk away from somebody, that also means you get to fall in love all over again. That also means that you have not loved all the people that you're ever going to love in this lifetime. And that is something to get excited about. That's something to look forward to. So please, you guys, like during these detours, or when these detours do occur for you, don't look at it as like, why me? Why is the universe doing this to me? Why is God doing this to me? This is happening to you because you're deserving of so much more. We have reflect as well. And this is so, so important, you guys. We attract soulmates based on the lessons we need to learn for growth. Is this hindering or supporting you? Everything, and people hate this. Okay, I hate this. But everything is a reflection of ourselves. Everything. Once you are an adult, because I don't believe that like children or people under the age of 18 who don't have any say in their life, never mind. Nuance, again, not getting into that. But everything in our life is a reflection of us, okay? And sometimes it's difficult to see that in the moment, and sometimes it's too ugly for us to fully like grasp that concept. And I understand, again, there's nuance to this. This is not a black and white statement, but for the most part, the people around us, the people who we choose to have in our lives, they are reflecting something to us that we either have in ourselves that we need to change, or there's something about them that is reflecting, or they are reflecting off of us, okay? So keep that in mind. We have yang energy here. This is Aries, Leo, Gemini. I'm sorry, I went like this because I skipped over Gemini. Gemini, Leo, Libra, Sagittarius, and Aquarius. This is productivity, expression, doing, and forward motion. Okay? Forward motion. You guys are moving forward, all right? We have Libra here. This is consideration, fairness, and harmony. Going back to that Temperance card, you guys, harmony. Okay, you are going to be in a place of balance when you meet this person. You are going to be in a place of security within yourself. That's not to say you're going to be perfect. That's not to say that you're going to fully be healed from everything that's ever happened to you in your life. That's not to say you're going to be in a place where you're like, nothing ever negatively affects me. But it is to say that you are going to feel more secure and more balanced with who it is that you are, and again, what it is that you want and expect in a partner. And then we have the 10th house. This is structure, discipline, life mission, accomplishments, and career. So your career could be playing a really big role in how you meet this person. You could also, though, this could be saying that you guys are going to be looking at this connection as an accomplishment, not because of the other person or because like, oh, I finally got married, or I met my soulmate, like I feel so accomplished, but because of what it took for you to get yourself to a place where you were healthy enough to experience that, where you were in a place where you could accept love again. Because I feel like for a lot of you, you're coming from a place of hurt. You're coming from a place of pain. You've experienced disappointment when it comes to love and relationships. And I feel like you are almost like, this is representing like a pat on the back to yourself for how much you put up with and how much you were still able to like overcome, how much you were still able to be like, I'm not going to allow the world to make me jaded. I'm not going to allow this person and that person to hinder my experiences in life moving forward, okay? So, group number 3. That is what I have for you. Ultimately, your love story is a self-love story. And this self-love story is leading to marriage. It's leading to the land of love where you get to experience love with another person. So I'm really excited for you guys, group number 3. Thank you guys so very much for allowing me to read for you today. I appreciate it. I love you guys so much. And I'll talk to you guys really soon. Okay, bye.